Hello people, it's your boy Arthur Smitty. Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I will be reviewing It Welcome to Derry. Whew! Now, before we get started, I know I've been gone for a minute, haven't made a video in so long, but I'm back. I'm back till January. Back till till the end, till February. And then I got hit back, and then after my last semester, I'll be back again for good, for good. But I already know I missed a lot of stuff. I missed Supergirl. I missed Supergirl. I missed. I think I missed the Boys trailer. I missed a whole bunch of stuff. But no more. We're going to be back on it. And starting off, we're going to be freaking reviewing It Welcome to Derry because I was actually able to finish it. And I actually have the time to review it now since I'm bored. I don't have nothing to do now. So, but also before we get into that, stay tuned on Friday and Saturday because we have a documentary coming out, and on Saturday I have another amazing short film for you guys to see. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, let's talk about It Welcome to Derry. Now, this is going to kind of be. I'm gonna see how far I get. Because by this point in time, most of the people that watch the show probably already know what happens, and I don't even need to go into a spoiler section. But we'll see how far this goes to see if I need to even do that. But let me just start off by saying, out of all the shows right now, It Welcome to Derry, this was pretty good. This was really good, and I really enjoyed it. Just based off of the fact that this show gave me so much of a creepy atmosphere, just off of the fact that Pennywise, I guess this is spoiler, so whatever. Just based off of the fact that Pennywise doesn't even show up until like the fifth, sixth episode. Like it's a while, and these episodes are almost pretty much like an hour. So he doesn't show up for a long time, but we feel his presence even though he's not there, which is the funny part about it is like you feel his presence, and he's just doing stuff all around the people of Derry, and especially with our main characters, and it's crazy. But yeah, just I gotta give Andy that check mark for that because he definitely made the atmosphere creepy, especially before we even got to Pennywise. I definitely will say that this show makes me hate the movies though. It makes me hate the movies because bro, they do so much stuff better in this show than when they do the movies. It is crazy, especially maybe not the first one. The first It was great. I love the first It. The first It was pretty much, it has its moments, of course, but it was really perfect. The second It is where we kind of start to drop the ball just a little bit. But overall, I would say the first It is good. The second It, 6 out of 10. But this show makes me like if this is where we started off, this was peak. Like I really enjoy it, especially with the character development as we go on with the main cast and stuff like that. Like it's crazy. And Bill Skarsgård, he needs an Oscar for this. He needs an Oscar for this. Bill, you've been doing a lot lately. You've been doing a lot lately. First you killed it as Nosferatu. I ain't gonna talk about The Crow, but you killed it with Nosferatu. I think I saw you in another project, and now you coming back with Pennywise, bro. Applause. Because once you finally do see Pennywise, it's over. Like shit gets so real. Like stuff. Like once you get to that episode where he shows up, stuff it's just like it's just going and going and going, and it's just crazy. And I'm gonna just get into spoilers. You know what? Forget it. Fuck it. Go watch the show. If you don't want to hear me talk spoilers. I'm gonna just say that this show could really open up a multiverse because, especially how the show ends and how everything is connected, especially with the whole The Shining, and the what's his name, and Dick Hallorann, played by Chris Schultz. How all of that connects, you could really create a multiverse, especially because by the end you realize that that Pennywise is just going to keep. He's I don't know. Stephen King was really high when he wrote this because there's moments that I still enjoy the show, but there are plot moments that I'm like, how does this make sense? How would this connect to the other stuff? But I still enjoyed it, you know. And for what does it, whenever you do a show that takes place in the past, it's kind of like with the Star Wars prequels. There's always going to be some. No matter how hard you try, it's always going to be some type of continuity. Oop, alarm. There's always going to be some type of continuity problems, no matter what you do, like every single time. And there were a couple of them, just a couple of them. And one of them is made up with the fact that Pennywise can go back in time, but he's not going back in time, but his presence can loom across time. So each time he dies, he's trying to go further back in time, or he's already in that further back in time, but somehow Bob Gray, that event happened before everything, but he's still like it's so crazy how it works. But just off of that, it sounds crazy, but you could make a whole multiverse off of that, and I would be for it. Do that, you know, make a multiverse where these kids get older and they have to keep fighting back Pennywise because Pennywise keeps trying to go back in time to kill them before the next set of losers exist. So those losers don't exist. So those other losers won't be born. So these losers won't come back around. That would be cool. That would be very interesting to see how that plays out, especially since like you could bring back a bunch of old cast members and you could show some of the characters being really old or really young or like in their teenage years. It'll be kind of interesting. So definitely think about that, Andy. I think you know this is where you're sure. When it comes to Pennywise, I think this is where your strong suit is at. This is exactly where you thrive at. You thrive at with this. But yeah, let me just say, let me just go into the quick synopsis of everything. Character wise, I enjoyed all the characters. Pennywise, of course. Charlotte, loved her. Dick, Dick Halloran. It's so crazy once you realize like who he is and how he gets his powers and that he's really connected to all of these movies. It's just like all of these movies, even though none of them really reference anything about each other than the fact that Dick Halloran is in them. So it's kind of funny how that works. But you know, and even at the end, they talk about him going to the hotel, the Shining Hotel. That could be a setup for another series. Um, Rudy Macasso as one of the captains. That caught me off guard. I was like, that's a YouTuber. That's a YouTuber. But the general, I hated the general. The general freaking guy. Well, I hated the general in terms of the show. Him as a character, the act, fine. Everyone in the cast acting was fine. I don't have an issue really with anyone. Any hate I have towards a character was because they generally pissed me off in this show and in the context of what was going on. Like the general pissed me off. Earlier on, Marge was pissing me off. Marge had her moments where I was like, bro, what are you doing? It was a couple of moments. Rich Santos, R.I.P. my buddy. He was the best character. Best character. We know why. We know what's gonna happen. Marge is gonna name her son after Rich. Another spoiler. I'm sorry. Gonna name her son after Rich because Rich was the best. Rich was definitely the best. I miss you, bro. R.I.P. You know. Um, but yeah, overall, all the characters, Leroy, Clint, Hank, it's pretty stellar cast. And the best part is you could bring back this cast and not necessarily literally 27 years later, but if you did another project where they have to face Pennywise again in the future, which this man can't die. The only real thing you can do is either capture him and put him to sleep, capture him and just have him trapped with the stones that keep him locked in, or just let him. You're just gonna have to keep fighting him off every single 27 years. That's really the only thing. And hopefully you don't have a kid within those 27 years, and he's already. And by the time he does come back around, your kid is already an adult. That's really the only. Or just move out of Derry. Move out of Derry. Excuse me. But yes, the characters. I enjoyed the characters. The story was I love the beginning, the opening, just the first episode. caught me off guard, just straight up murdering who we thought was going to be the losers crew, just killing them off. That, you know, us slowly building towards this world Derry full takeover, and the general destroying the thing that's keeping Pennywise locked in Derry, where he can almost escape the world. That was crazy. Yeah, that was insane. And then they finally defeat him. Dick has a great moment where he learns how to stop Pennywise mentally. Like it's a bunch of great stuff. A bunch of great stuff. So if I was to rank this show, I would probably, okay. The first movie I give like an 8 out of 10. I give like an 8 out of 10. I give like an 8 out of 10. There, just like with the movies in the show, my main problem sometimes is with the CGI. And for those that watch The Flash, you understand. Um, is the CGI? There are some moments that it look. I'm like, dude, this looks awful. Like, bro, this needed some more time to cook in the kitchen. But for it, I feel like it works more so than when it would for The Flash. But for it, it works at times, especially like there's really only like maybe one or two moments in it. It's like, nah, like 2 or 3 moments in this show where I was like, that, especially when Marge's eyes comes out, that part I was like, yeah, that just looks like Jello. Like that looks awful. That does not look good at all. But other than that, so yeah, other than that, I don't have any problems with really anything else. The pacing was probably the perfect it's been out of all 3 projects. I would give the first It an 8 out of 10. I would give the second one probably like a 5 or like a 6. I still had fun. I still enjoyed it. I'll give it like a 6. But then again, I feel like when you show them as adults, that never works out anyway. Even in the books, it's a little up in the air. It always kind of falls flat because you enjoy the stuff with the kids. You enjoy kids like that Stranger Things feel where kids are trying to fight back a huge entity that they have no business trying to fight. And that dynamic between the kids, that's always fun. Then with the adults just running around pretending they still are kids. But yeah, I give that 6 out of 10. This, I'm looking at an 8 or a 9. I can't decide. I want to give it a 9, but I'm like, someone wants me to want to be humble. Give me an 8. You know, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. Give it an 8.5 out of 10. That's what I'm gonna do. Give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think it deserves an 8.5. It definitely has its 9 moments. Like once you get to episode 7 and 8, it's like I wouldn't be mad at you if you gave it a 9. Like overall, give the show a 9. I would say overall I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. But once you get to 7 and 8, you might be like, dang, this was a 9 out of 10 show. This shit was good. So yeah, I can't. It Welcome to Derry, Chapter 1, 8.5 out of 10. Now the funny thing about this is that the next things that they're going to do is they're going to go back in time, each like another 27 years back. So it's actually going to be kind of crazy that each season is going to go back. So we're probably not going to see these characters again. That's why I was mentioning the multiverse, that they could literally just keep showing him going backwards and then coming back forwards to keep stopping a new set of losers from stopping him over and over again, to make sure that the losers club that we know and love doesn't exist, so they don't end up killing him. So it's actually crazy. So you could actually make a It Chapter 3 eventually, because you could have those losers club have kids. Well, then again, we would need a reason why It Chapter 3. Maybe those losers don't come back. Maybe not all of them come back, but whatever new set of losers come in, if they do decide to make an It Chapter 3, which would be awesome, you could have them face Pennywise again. So, and be like, I thought we defeated him. And it's like, nah, bro, this man gonna keep coming back because he's gonna keep manipulating time somehow. Stephen King, I need you to explain to me where this idea came from. And I also need to know the laws of the turtle. The turtle laws are very weird. Maybe I need to do some research on that, but the turtle laws are very weird. But that's just my overall thoughts. I can't wait. I really enjoyed It Welcome to Derry Chapter 1. Once again, 8.5 out of 10. I can't wait to see what they do with Chapter 2 and Chapter 3. And yeah, so there are more videos to come. I am back now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.